On a crisp September evening in 2024, Arrowhead Stadium roared to life as the Kansas City Chiefs secured their first victory of the NFL season against the New York Giants in a Sunday Night Football showdown. The final score, 26-23, flashed across the scoreboard, and the sea of red-clad fans erupted in celebration. For a team that had stumbled out of the gate with an 0-2 record, the win was a lifeline, a moment to exhale, to believe that the dynasty led by Patrick Mahomes might still have some spark left. But beneath the surface of this hard-fought triumph, cracks in the Chiefs' armor were impossible to ignore. As the confetti settled, the victory felt less like a turning point and more like a fleeting reprieve, leaving fans, analysts, and even players questioning whether this team could reclaim its place atop the NFL. The game itself was a microcosm of the Chiefs' early season struggles, flashes of brilliance punctuated by maddening inconsistency. From the opening kickoff, Kansas City seemed determined to silence the doubters. Mahomes, the two-time MVP whose every move carries the weight of a city's expectations, connected with rookie wideout Xavier Worthy for a 54-yard touchdown on the team's second drive. The play was vintage Chiefs, explosive, precise, a reminder of the offensive juggernaut that had dominated the league in recent years. Arrowhead shook as fans sensed the return of their unstoppable force. But the Giants, led by a resilient Daniel Jones, refused to roll over. Jones answered with a 12-play, 75-yard drive, culminating in a touchdown pass to tight end Theo Johnson, tying the game at 7-7. The tone was set. This would be no cakewalk. As the first half unfolded, the Chiefs' offense sputtered in ways that felt all too familiar. Mahomes, pressured by a relentless Giants defensive front, was sacked 3 times in the first quarter alone. The offensive line, a patchwork unit still adjusting to injuries and new faces, struggled to protect their star quarterback. On one particularly brutal play, Dexter Lawrence two-barreled through to drop Mahomes for a 7-yard loss, forcing a punt. The crowd's energy dimmed, replaced by a nervous hum. "It's like watching a Ferrari with a flat tire," one fan muttered in the stands, a sentiment echoed across social media as the hashtag Chiefs Kingdom trended with a mix of hope and frustration. The Chiefs' defense, however, offered a glimmer of hope. Under the steady hand of coordinator Steve Spagnuolo, the unit held its own against a Giants offense that, while not elite, showed surprising grit. Cornerback Trent McDuffie blanketed Giants receivers, breaking up 2 passes in the second quarter, while defensive tackle Chris Jones disrupted Jones' rhythm with a sack that forced a field goal attempt. Yet, even this silver lining came with a caveat. The defense allowed 17 points in the first half, including a 28-yard touchdown run by Giants rookie Tyrone Tracy Jr., who exploited a missed tackle by safety Justin Reid. The Chiefs trailed 17-13 at halftime, and the mood in the locker room was tense. "We've got to clean some things up," head coach Andy Reid said post-game, his understated tone masking the urgency of the moment. The second half saw the Chiefs claw their way back, driven by Mahomes' refusal to let the game slip away. A 12-yard scramble on 3rd and -8 in the third quarter kept a drive alive, followed by a pinpoint 19-yard pass to Travis Kelce, who bulldozed his way into the end zone to give Kansas City a 20-17 lead. The play was a reminder of the Mahomes-Kelce connection that has defined the Chiefs' recent success, but even Kelce's heroics couldn't mask the offense's broader struggles. Drops by receivers, including a critical miss by rookie Carson Steele in the red zone, stalled drives and forced the Chiefs to rely on field goals from kicker Harrison Butker, who went 4 for 4 on the night. "We left points out there," Mahomes admitted in the post-game press conference, his usual swagger tempered by frustration. As the fourth quarter ticked down, the game became a test of resilience. The Giants, clinging to a 23-20 lead after a late field goal, leaned on their defense to seal the upset. But Mahomes, as he so often does, found a way. With 1:52 remaining and the Chiefs at their own 38-yard line, he orchestrated a surgical 62-yard drive, capped by a 44-yard field goal from Butker as time expired. The stadium erupted, but the celebration felt hollow. The Chiefs had escaped, not dominated. "A win's a win," Reid said, but his words carried the weight of a coach who knew his team was far from its best. The numbers told a sobering story. Mahomes finished 24 of -39 for 262 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception, a solid but not spectacular performance. The Chiefs' rushing attack, expected to be a strength with Isaiah Pacheco back from injury, managed just 78 yards on 22 carries. Penalties, including a costly holding call on left tackle DJ Humphries, killed 2 promising drives. On defense, while Jones and McDuffie shone, the unit allowed 347 total yards, including 128 on the ground. For a team with Super Bowl aspirations, these were not championship numbers. The broader context of the Chiefs' season only amplified the unease. Coming off back-to-back Super Bowl victories, the 2024 campaign was supposed to be a coronation of their dynasty. Instead, losses to the Ravens and Bengals in Weeks 1 and 2 exposed vulnerabilities: an aging offensive line, a thin receiving core beyond Kelce, and a defense that, while talented, struggled to close out games. The Giants, a team projected to finish near the bottom of the NFC, were supposed to be a get-right game. Instead, they pushed the Chiefs to the brink, exposing flaws that could haunt Kansas City in tougher matchups against teams like the Bills, Eagles, or 49ers. As fans filed out of Arrowhead, the victory felt more like a warning than a celebration. The Chiefs were 1-2, back in the win column, but the road ahead looked daunting. Social media buzzed with takes from analysts and fans alike. "Mahomes can't do it alone," one ex-post read, garnering thousands of likes. Another user quipped, "This team's living on borrowed time." The NBC broadcast crew echoed the sentiment, with Chris Collinsworth noting, "The Chiefs are still dangerous, but they're not invincible." Not this year. In the locker room, Mahomes struck a defiant tone. "We've got a long season ahead," he said, his eyes fixed on the future. "This is just the start." But for a team accustomed to dominance, the first win of 2024 felt like a wake-up call. The Chiefs had survived the Giants, but survival isn't enough for a franchise chasing history. As the lights dimmed at Arrowhead, one question lingered: could this team, with all its talent and pedigree, find the consistency to silence the doubters? For now, the answer remained as elusive as the dynasty's next chapter.